Thank you for watching the last video. That was awesome. 240 subscribers in 5 days and almost 10,000 views. Insane. If you haven't seen that video, go check it out. Here's a little clip of it. You'll be up to par on what we're doing here. I'm gonna be cutting in the hood and rolling the fenders and painting the inside of them completely. I have extra paint, I'm just gonna do it. And then we'll get all this mounted up and then we can start doing our body work for the front end. Free plug for whatever vinyl company this is. I also cut off all the foam, the insulation foam that goes inside of the reinforcement. And then I'm also grinding off the seam sealer that's on the front of the hood because there is some rust there, along with the actual hood latch itself and where the hood hinges mount. There's something satisfying about watching things get clean. So I'm just spraying this down with wax and grease remover, getting all the gunk off, and getting it ready so that I can sand it and do my touch-ups with the rust. I ran out of normal self-etch, so I just improvised. First off, I shouldn't be cutting in my booth, but whatever, it is what it is. I'm cutting these tabs off because I'm gonna roll the fender by hand. And on the second one, I ended up doing a bunch of relief cuts in it, which turned out to be a terrible idea. Don't do that, because it is gonna be shown on the front. I got a bunch of body work I gotta do now on the front of the fender. It's not a big deal. I put seam sealer here because I didn't want road grime getting trapped in between the pieces of metal and getting rusty. New seam sealer on the hood, but the lines don't have to be perfect because the seal is going to cover it anyways. Now I got both fenders sanded for the cut-in. You don't really have to sand the inside of that, just the edge. Got all this sanded. And you see, this stuff doesn't have any clear coat from the factory. So this just cuts right in if you use a little bit of lacquer thinner on your Scotch Brite. I think we're ready for wipe down and paint. Used hoods are a nuisance. There's always crap that gets stuck inside of the structural, so it's best to shove an air hose inside of it to clean it out. I'm so in love with you. You got me down again. I used white sealer just because I have an abundance of it and I don't know what else to do with it. If you see a bunch of nibs in the fender, yeah, it's there because I don't give a damn, because it's gonna be where the wheel is. The part that's visible is nib free. Everything's dry. The hood, a lot of stuff came out of the structural piece of the hood, so it didn't come out very clean in the center, but I'm gonna be using a cover anyway, so I'm not too concerned with it. The other stuff that's actually visible, I'll buff out later, but we had a friend land right dead center in the hood anyways, so nature of the beast. And if you're wondering like, oh man, why aren't you painting all of it at once? This isn't the type of color that you want to have the exterior painted in different panels. Like, I don't usually paint with bumpers on cars, but this paint job I will be painting with the bumpers on the car, and I will be walking the full distance of the car just because it's pearl, and if it's off even just the slightest bit, it's gonna drive me bonkers and I'll end up repainting the whole car. That's why I do this. I can use foam right here, and then there will not be a hard line from where I tape. You'll see. We got a little ways to go until we get there, so let's get this stuff mounted. I usually don't mount the hood hinges on the hood prior, but I'm the only one here, so this is the way I can do it without scratching it. But this isn't the hardware I'll be using. I have other hardware that I'll be using. I'm just bolting this stuff up. I have a feeling these are 98 headlights. Somebody who knows more than me about 98 through 96 through 98, 99 through 2000. You know, the hood was a 98, but the car's a 2000. I don't know if they put 98 headlights on it or not, but it's starting to look that way. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Are these 98s? Pretty sure they are, but I'll get some ordered so I can actually do a proper fitment. Look at this cheap Tang Yang bull. Like, come on, man. This ball's way out. This is sunk in. Tang Yang sucks. I mean, we can make these work, but man, that's just unacceptable, man. I got a new hood latch and cable for this. Again, this isn't the hardware I'll be keeping. I'm just doing this so that I can get the fenders aligned with the hood. So I wanted to talk about this because I know that this can be easily overlooked. I'm not going to show you the bottom of mine just because it's ugly. But when you paint these, your engine bay, paint the bottom side of this. I did it with rattle can, but you got to get something on there because all that, if you're welding all that stuff up, it's all exposed metal. It's going to rust. That definitely needs some self-etch, and it needs to have some paint on it for protection. It's not terrible. I mean, we're just eyeballing it before I even shut it. That's not bad. That lines up pretty good. This needs to come in a little bit or over. Until I get that other fender on, I won't know. But it's a little high right here. Not a whole hell of a lot I can do with that. But at least the front end's starting to come together. This is gonna be a short one. The body work and all this is not gonna take that long on the front end. I wanna wait until everything else is done. We'll put everything into primer. That way I'm not wasting cup liners because those things aren't cheap. We can make sure everything's perfect before we prime. Oh, if you guys are wondering, like, why do you have carpet in here? This rocks for painting in. I know it's dirty right now because I was just prepping in here. I prep in here and I paint in here. And All you do is you vacuum it out after you're done. Like, works awesome. This carpet's getting a little old. This is over like a year and a half old. It's due for a new carpet, but you can put whatever you want down. Whatever's on sale at Home Depot or whatever, you can put down, and then you just have to vacuum it before you paint. It comes out way cleaner, I'm telling you. I had them in my booths when I was working at dealerships, and it worked out awesome. Thanks again. And I think by tomorrow, we'll have over 1,000 subscribers, so that's freaking awesome. Last week, I had 630. All right, guys, thanks.